Huwag yung kayong magkadisgrasyahan tayo niyan. Sinasabi ko yung madidisgrasya kayo. At madidisgrasya kayo. Hindi ako urong dito. And I said, I would stake my honor, my life, and even the presidency.
Sige,
Mic test. Requesting everybody to please rise. I now call this regular session to order. Requesting the Honorable Abigail de Ludo Ortiz to open us in prayer.
Atong iduko palihog ang atong mga ulo ug atong hangyoon ang presensya sa Ginoo. Manalangin kitang tanan. Langit nong Amahan, as we gather here today for the State of our City's address, led by no less than our City Mayor, INDAY Duterte, we ask, O Lord, that you will dwell among us. We are comforted by the knowledge that you alone are our Savior and Lord, and the ultimate Master of life. We trust our city to your loving care, O Lord. Send your Holy Spirit to touch the hearts of our nation's leaders. Give them the wisdom to know what is right and the courage to do it. Protect our leaders, Mayor Sara Duterte and our President Rudy Duterte, and strengthen them to rule with peace, hope, and love in their hearts, and with fear of you. Give us your light and your truth to guide us in our ways, so that we may seek your will in our lives and impact the world around us for your glory and honor. Kini among gipangayo kanimo Ginoo sa ngalan sa Amahan, sa Anak ug sa Espiritu Santo. Amen.
Madam Secretary, roll call. Please sit down. Thank you.
We shall now have the roll call. Vice Mayor Alag is present. Councilor Abiliera is present. Councilor Acosta present. Councilor Advincula is present. Councilor Alejandre present. Councilor Apostol is present. Councilor Baluran present. Councilor Joan Quilos is present. Councilor Cherry Anbunguyan present. Councilor Braga is present. Councilor Clarion present. Councilor Dianghirang is present. Councilor Dayap present. Councilor Doresa is present. Councilor Ibuyan Jr. is present. Councilor Ibuyan Sr. is present. Councilor Librado Yap present. Councilor Lopez is present. Councilor Mahipos present. Councilor Marohom Salik is present. Councilor Militar present. Councilor Dalodo Ortiz present. Councilor Castrodes is present. Councilor Kitain Jr. present. Councilor Abelia is present. Councilor Sudagar is present. Councilor Villaferte is present. Councilor Sosobrado is present. Your Honor, we have 28 members present this morning.
There being 28 members present, the Chair declares quorum. Members of the 18th Council, to my fellow Davaoenos, guests, ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the State of the City Address, Mayor Sara Duterte.
Thank you. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, maayong buntag sa inyong tanan. For more than 80 years, our beloved city has been tested with trials and has endured them every single time, leaving a populace that has learned to rise beyond the struggles and to strive for betterment despite adversities. That is why, for the past 2 years, our theme for my administration is to stand tall, proud, and resilient. The city saw its fair share of triumphs and tribulations. At the forefront of those is each one of us. Oftentimes celebratory, but always ready to face uncertainties. Today, I stand before you as we look back, face forward, and take this ceremonial pause to appreciate how far we have come and what lies ahead. At the end of this speech, I hope to have encouraged you to take this ride with the city government further in order to achieve our goals. When I assumed office, I had put in a vision as a personal marching order. I want our constituents to have gainful employment, decent housing, educated and healthy children, able to eat 3 meals a day, and to be safe and secure in their daily activities. Thus was born the Biyaheng Do 30 initiative, focused on 10 priority programs with at least 30 banner projects that this current administration has been working on to accomplish for the next 3 years. We use the biyahe because any voyage is always an invitation for a group of people or for a community to travel together. We have invited all of you to join in the city government in the pursuit of these initiatives. And we wanted to collaborate with us in this journey because we want you to take part and share the successes of our initiatives. Let me begin with our local economy that has been bullish the past 4 years. The region's regional domestic product growth rate has shown an immense increase since 2015. Last year, it is 10.9%, with the industry sector gaining the highest rate of growth. This figure is significantly higher than that of the country's 6.7% growth rate. With the increased interest in Davao City from potential investors, both local and foreign, we expect that this trend will continue in the coming years. This is already evident in the economic profile of the city. The year 2017 registered a growth rate of 25.3% with 272 billion pesos in capitalization. The number of businesses has also increased from 36,950 in 2015 to 43,010 by mid-2018. This means that local revenues are expected to remain at increasing projections, paving the way to more local government-funded projects. On education, last year I ended my address with the emphasis on the children's education and the Pagbabago project. On December 1, 2017, we launched the project that is two-pronged. The first is to focus on education, and the second is on women's reproductive health and wellness. The Pagbabago project on education is a campaign for our poorest and underprivileged elementary pupils to make their education their way out of poverty. By providing them with the basic school needs, we are encouraging them to do well in school so that when they achieve success, they can give back to the communities where they come from. As of today, we have reached out to 39 different schools in the city and to 14,000 school children. We have expanded the scholarship platforms under the Educational Benefits System Unit. And I am happy to announce that this year, our first ever Lumad Medical Scholar has graduated, and she is joined by 4 other medical school graduates who are scholars under the Expanded Medical Education Scholarship Program. I'd like to request Dr. Jeannie Marie Salmasan to please stand. Doctora. For the school year 2017 to 2018, we have a total of 1,059 scholars. However, for this school year 2018 to 2019, the EBSU is already managing 1,609 scholars, taking up various disciplines that include law, medicine, engineering, and education. That is a 51.94 increase on a year-on-year comparison. I have issued an instruction to cover graduates of our alternative learning systems, ALS, under the EBSU, so that these graduates will have access to opportunities at par with graduates from formal education. And I encourage our ALS graduates to avail of these grants. In doing so, we will be further addressing the incidences of out-of-school youths. Of speech, under our EBSU, we have the STEP, which is the college scholarship, the educational assistance for Lumad scholars, the educational assistance for PWD students, and then we have the scholarship for law and medicine, and now we have the scholarship for the alternative learning system graduates. We have endeavored to solicit bids for the conduct of a feasibility study for the construction, operation, and management of a city college. We encountered setbacks due to 2 failed bids, but the project is still on. The study will answer if it is more cost-effective to operate a college versus continuing with our scholarship grants. Excluding the supplemental budgets, the city government has allotted 500 million pesos for the calendar year 2018 for the Special Education Fund for the key areas of schools supervision, public education, including construction of classrooms and other infrastructure projects, manpower development, and sports development. Compared to the years 2016 and 2017, you could see an upward trend in the allocations to the Special Education Fund from 419 million in 2016 to 551 in 2017 to 675 in 2018. All of these is due to the steady real property growth in the city. the rising real property tax collections, and the relentless work of the people behind the City Assessor's Office and the City Treasurer's Office in making sure that these properties are assessed correctly and the taxes are collected timely. From our City Treasurer's Office, we have surpassed our targets in revenue collections. And I'd like to take time out to congratulate our City Treasurer on her retirement. Under her administration, the total collections was 6.3 billion pesos. In 2017, we collected 7.2 billion pesos. And by the end of 2018, we are projecting to surpass our target as we have already collected 4.9 billion pesos as of June 2018. Last 2016, the shortage of 426 classrooms for elementary and 425 classrooms for high school, and the implementation of the K-12 program meant we needed more classrooms. In the last 2 years, we have constructed 116 classrooms across all levels and sites using the Special Education Fund, bringing down the shortage to 368 for elementary and 38 for senior high school. More funds are needed to address the shortage for high school classrooms, as currently we have a shortage of 1,006 due to the increasing enrollment. We are endeavoring to construct more, and we have received help from partners like the Aboitiz Foundation, the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in the Philippines, and the MCOR Group, whose buildings will definitely address the shortages. Our Madrasa program also saw an increase in enrollment by 2.92% when comparing to the two school years of 2016 to 2017 and 2017 to 2018. Our very own library was awarded the Star Library on Library Services by the National Library of the Philippines, and in the past year, we have implemented various programs that would allow better reach of the library services by our constituents. We inaugurated the Disaster Education Mobile Library in March 2018. As of now, we have 2 mobile libraries roaming the city to service hard-to-reach areas. Second, we are undertaking the modernization of the library through the Tech for ED, or Technology for Economic Development, a project component of the Information Communications Technology Office and the Department of Science and Technology, and the Department of Information and Communications Technology. Tech 4 ED is a software installed in various district libraries in the city, allowing access to digital content in a faster and efficient manner. Currently, we are building a world-class city library along C. Bangoy Street, and the plan is to make its products and services interactive, focusing more on digital content, and in order to keep up with the current trends in knowledge, content distribution, and assimilation. We reconstituted the Literacy Coordinating Council to ensure access to basic education of every citizen of the city to eradicate illiteracy in a local level. We constituted the Davao City Culture and Arts Council that will hopefully encourage greater artistic expression and make the city a cultural center in Mindanao. In sports, our student athletes excelled in various sports events, and I would like to congratulate our athletes, their parents, the coaches, and the Department of Education. Early this year, we have successfully hosted the Davao Regional Athletic Association meet, attended by 7,300 athletes. And next year, we will host it again as a practice and preparation for the Palarong Pambansa in April 2019, which the city will host for the very first time. Various infrastructure projects are being completed that will house the events, and our LGU Palaro Committee is working double time to bring us a world-class sporting event. To develop more world-class and competitive athletes, we will come up with a scholarship program for student athletes under the EBSU to ensure that our talents get the necessary support and training. It is my personal belief that the way out from poverty is education, and I encourage our young generation to maximize the current offerings and to study hard until each of you would have achieved your goals. On health, as I mentioned earlier, the Pagbabago Project's other component is focused on women's reproductive health and well-being. The project aims to educate childbearing women of the current available birth control methods and how they can access them. Unplanned number of children will aggravate the status of families already living in poverty. And the idea is very simple. They have to plan so that each family will only have children that parents can afford sending to school, feeding, and providing with basic needs. Our contraceptive use prevalence rate has increased from 50.7% in 2016 to 61.3% this year. Specifically, more and more females have availed of our ligation services from 15 cases in 2016 to 226 cases as of June 2018. There are more and more pregnant women who have chosen to deliver at our health facilities. Year-on-year comparison shows that all the pregnant women tracked, 89.44 have chosen to give birth in our health facilities in 2016. 92.4% in 2017, and 95.4% as of June 2018. The increase is due to the awareness efforts being implemented by our health officers. The incidence of wasting among our children has considerably gone down from 2,736 in 2016 to 1,451 cases this year. The same is true for the incidence of children with stunted growth, which is also slowly going down. The Department of Social Welfare and Development downloaded an amount of 63 million pesos to the city government last month for the supplementary program of the Early Childhood Care and Development. And the City Health Office is implementing various programs to combat child malnutrition and to see to it that our children will grow happy and healthy. Despite the worldwide rabies vaccine shortage, the City Health Office was able to cater to 2,947 animal bite victims, and no casualties have been recorded as of June 2018. However, I would like to appeal to each pet-owning Davaoenyo to be more responsible and never let your dogs and cats go astray. Your pet is your responsibility. I have made instructions to the City Veterinarian's Office to intensify the campaign against stray dogs, and funds have been allocated to purchase additional vehicles to service the 3 congressional districts of our city. There were 9 cases of malaria reported last year. Thankfully, as of June this year, there is still a 0 incidence of malaria in our city. Dengue cases, our perennial problem, also saw a decline as to number of cases from 1,828 in 2016 to 1,770 in 2017 to 655 cases as of June 2018. I have encouraged our new Sangguniang Kabataan Federation President to assist our City Health Office in reaching out to our youth with the goal of addressing the rising incidence of sexually transmitted diseases HIV and AIDS. I encourage all of those living with HIV to seek treatment. There is life after HIV diagnosis, and our health professionals are there to assist you. We are set to kanang usabon ng ato ang campaign because we have always campaigned for testing of those who are at risk. But from now on, our campaign will focus on what happens to them after testing. They should understand that there is life if you are found to be HIV positive. So the campaign must not focus on testing, but focus on helping and making them understand that if they are found to be positive, there are medications available and life can still continue on for our HIV positive Davaoenos. Infrastructure-wise, we have 14 newly constructed barangay health stations, 9 newly renovated barangay health stations, and 21 are still in the construction and renovation phase. The Marilog District Infirmary has been renovated while the Paquibato District Hospital is being renovated. I have instructed our City Health Officer to make a thorough inventory of the existing health facilities and their staffing so as to address their issues properly. The idea is to make the health services reachable by each Davaoeno, no matter how far-flung they may be located. While we have considerably poured in our own resources in the improvement of our health facilities, we've also received a lot of help from private partners. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank BDO and SM Foundation for assisting us in the construction of new barangay health stations and reproductive health units, namely the Talomo Central Main Health Center, Agdao Health Center, Jacinto Health Center, and SIR Health Center. Thank you for them. Like the feasibility study for the City College, we also encountered 2 failed bids already for the study on the construction, operation, and management of a city hospital. But this is still on, and we will make announcements as soon as the study is complete. We have also further intensified the anti-smoking campaign, and as of June this year, we have apprehended around 5,000 violators. We have also established the barangay anti-smoking teams in order to further reach our grassroots in the implementation of the ordinance. We are set to open. We are also ongoing renovation, the chest center. Yes, the chest center of the Davao City government is also undergoing renovations. We are set to open the drug rehabilitation facility located in Malagos. The facility will be able to house 200 drug dependents and is made possible through the generosity of the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation and the Resorts World Foundation. It will be operated and managed by the Department of Health. Focus is also being given to our street food safety. Our health teams have extended food safety and handling orientation to 57,121 vendors as of June 2018. During the start of this year, there was a measles outbreak, and we were able to immunize 96.1% of the 159,655 target children. Last July, we opened the Butika ng Bayan in partnership with the Department of Health. And as part of the Pagkalinga sa Bayan, now Malasakit Center. The Butika aims to deliver free medicines to our indigent constituents. The Department of Health pledged to replicate the Butika ng Bayan in all district rural health units of the city. As of today, 3 is set to be opened within the city. on poverty alleviation and social services. Employment and job opportunities have increased in the last 2 years. However, much still needs to be done in terms of equipping our job seekers with capacities and skills. Around 140,000 job vacancies were made open by various employment sectors in the last 2 years. But as you notice, there is only around 18% that were filled by job hunters, which translates to around 25,000 jobs. The same is true with the performance of the Job Start program, a program between our Public Employment Service Office and the Department of Labor and Employment. In the last 2 years, there were 1,090 jobs available, but only 295 job seekers were able to fill the slots. We can do more by equipping our future workforce with skills as a collaborative effort among the public, private, and academic sectors. The city government is always open to partner with the national agencies to ensure that Davaoenos are gainfully employed. Under the Magnegosyo Taday project, we have already assisted 4 cooperatives with a loan package of 1 million pesos each, and 1,161 disadvantaged women have been extended with a capital seed fund totaling to 8.4 million pesos. This includes women who were engaged in the illegal numbers game last 2 that were affected by the strict enforcement of the illegal gambling law by the Davao City Police Office. From January to June 2018 this year, our Lingap program has assisted 33,000 clients as of June 2018. Last year, we were able to cater to 128,000 patients assisted across our 2 stations in SPMC and Magallanes. The zero balance billing has been made possible to the majority of the patients by virtue of the addition of the Office of the President's Socio-Civic Project Fund, along with the assistance of the DSWD, PhilHealth, and PCSO. In the coming days, the President's Medicine Fund will also be made available as part of this package. We are now 30% on the completion of the multipurpose building that will house the one-stop shop for the President's Socio-Civic Fund, the President's Medicine Fund, the Lingap para sa Mahirap, the PCSO, PhilHealth, DSWD, and PAGCOR Medical Assistance. This is one step further in making the process seamless and efficient. Last year, we allocated 50 million pesos for the upgrading and standardization of residential facilities managed by CSSDO. As of June 18, 2018, various works at Bahay Pag-asa, Children's Village, the Quick Response Team for Children's Concerns, Paginhawaan Drop-In Center, Kusugyan, Home for the Elderly, and Sidlakan Crisis Center are already being completed. For housing, 306 units are being completed at Los Amigos by the San Miguel Foundation, which is part of the 1 billion peso housing facilities donation the foundation is giving the city. More and more houses are to be built as the donor is still undergoing land acquisition process. Discussions are also underway to develop our property in Lasang for it to be suitable for housing purposes, and the city government will make a formal announcement once there are already binding commitments from our private sector partners. The provision of housing to qualified constituents will remain our top priority in the coming years, and we will endeavor to purchase more lots for the homeless and those living in high-risk areas. We have actually a budget for land acquisition, but it's really very difficult to find land in Davao City na willing mag-sell willing magbaligya na sulod sa ceiling that is allowed by government purchase. They prefer selling to the private companies and private individuals because the price is higher. On infrastructure development, our recent engagement with the Japanese government through the Japan International Cooperation Agency has resulted in the finalization of a study called Infrastructure Modernization for Davao, or IM4 Davao, that spelled out priority infrastructure projects that the city should undertake from 2018 to 2045 in order to achieve a sound and sustainable city. The IM4 Davao will guide us in our pursuit for a better city for all. The big-ticket projects listed in the final report include the extension of the Diversion Road, the Davao River Boulevard, the Talomo Viaduct, the extension of the Coastal Road, the Bunawan-Buhangin Road, and the Davao-Samal Bridge. These projects are subject for consideration of the appropriate authorities and the subsequent budget allocation. Wala pa man ay budget. Uy, ano mo, palakpak mo. But these are the plans. These are the plans. We have completed 517 infrastructure projects. O kani, pwede na ni palakpakan. Completed 517 infrastructure projects from July 2017 to June 2018, amounting to 570 million pesos. The number of projects is a slight decrease of 4.61% from the 542 projects completed during the period of July 2016 to June 2017. Why? We should ask our Essence is Joey. Ikaw, sir, We have also commenced construction of some of our banner infrastructure projects, like the Davao City Investment and Tourism Building, the Davao City Library and Information Center, the 18-classroom ALS facility, the CSSDO building, and the Archives building. In the pipeline are the Davao Museum, Museo Davaoenyo, the City Health Office, the new City Engineer's Office, the extension of the Pasalubong Center. Oh, muna kinahanglan ko ninyo butuhan sunod tuig kay di na mahumantanan ko ninyo. Ay, ginoo ko. The 8-story extension to the City Hall building. Yeah, there. The city has seen an increase in various construction projects from various private firms, be it residential, commercial, and other miscellaneous construction, as evidenced by the rise in building and other ancillary permit applications and revenues. In 2016, the Office of the Building Official posted a total collection of 44 million. In 2017, the collection was at 103 million. And as of today, the OBO is on track to surpass its 125 million target, as it has already collected 66.52% of the target by today. As we position the city as the gateway to Mindanao and the country, and the BIMP IAGA, we are working with Congress to create a separate corporate body to efficiently and effectively operate and manage the Davao International Airport, with the establishment of the Davao International Airport Authority. With its creation, this separate authority will thrust us and our local private sector in a more prominent and influential role in transforming and upgrading the services and facilities of our airport. This will enable us to become more dynamic and active in promoting and developing international and domestic air traffic, thereby ensuring our city's position as a center for international trade and tourism in the Mindanao region. Next year, the port will embark on a 2 billion peso expansion project to include the upgrading of the general cargo berthing facilities as well as the expansion of the port to increase its capacity. For water services infrastructure, the Davao City Bulk Water Supply Project is set to commence its site development later this year. For the project's construction of its 6.8-hectare facility in Barangay Gumalang, we have been informed that priority employment will be given to the residents from the main impact barangays of the project. More importantly, this project will allow the shift of Davao City's main water supply source from groundwater to surface water, and will ensure the long-term security of Davao City's water supply for the present and future. The target date for the operation of the new water intake facilities, water treatment facility, and treated water pipelines is mid-2021. Transition to a more cost-effective energy LED lighting for Davao street lights is ongoing, with Davao Light and Power Company implementing this over a period of 3 years. The underground cabling project is also ongoing with a target completion on June 2019. Bypass roads were opened by DPWH, one of which was the bypass road at Mamay and CP Garcia, exiting towards diversion road towards the Davao International Airport. And there is another bypass road. Gingnan bito na ko ang DPWH para dili ma-confuse ang mga tao. Dapat ang bypass road na ay pangalan. Because we always say bypass road and we do not know where. So there is another bypass road in Ulas and another bypass road from diversion road going to Maa Bridge. For Shrine Hills, the amendments and supplement to the Urban Ecological Enhancement Subzone under the Zoning Ordinance of Davao City involves around 200 hectares in Shrine Hills area. It has been approved in second reading by the Sangguniang Panglungsod. Thank you very much. This measure will ensure that the area that serves as sponge for carbon and stormwater will retain its beneficial environmental functions. The construction of the 18.2-kilometer coastal road is ongoing under a multi-year funding scheme. We are happy to announce that the goodwill gesture of the People's Republic of China for committing to donate the 1.5 billion peso construction of the bridge. So there is another bridge coming. With that bridge, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bridges mulabang sa Davao River. So there will be 5 bridges, 1 bridge more. We shall impose building height limits in Davao City in line with our goal of achieving a safe and sustainable city through sound urban development principles. Once we have finalized the technical guidelines in coordination with the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, we expect this ordinance to provide a skyline safe for air travel, allow our utility agencies the needed density control, and provide our search and rescue teams a manageable area to cover in times of disaster. I emphasize the urgency of this measure, and I hope the Sanggunian will do everything necessary that we have the ordinance in place to cope with the current infra surge. Our comprehensive land use plan is ongoing revision and updating for the years 2019 to 2028. The revision and updating will incorporate emerging initiatives, provide parameters and guidelines for land use, transportation, parking, economic development, infrastructure, and transit. We are happy to note that there is a surplus of power supply in Davao region, given the expected rollout of the wholesale electricity spot market in June 2019 for the entire Mindanao. This will bolster the availability of power at a lesser cost. Davao Light's capacity alone is more than ready to serve the power load needs of the city that is projected at 517 megawatts in the next 3 years, as its capacity will have reached 1,009 megavolt ampere, that is twice the peak load. Considering, wala bitaw ko kasabot ani, nangutan ako sa nagsulat na. Basta, wala daw tayo ma-expect na mga brownout for the next 3 years. Brownout due to shortage, pero brownout due to magguba ang linya na gihapon na. Considering the wide expanse of the city, only 86% of our puroks, 2,538 out of 2,964 puroks are energized. With this type of challenge, off-grid power solutions such as the installation of solar and mini hydropower generators, among others, are really encouraged. Davao Light has already submitted for approval a 400 million peso rural electrification program to the Energy Regulatory Commission to achieve 100% electrification at the household level. In response to the constant need for connectivity and constant complaints against poor internet services, we welcome the move of the national government to pave the entry of a third telco player. As a city with a good reputation in business process outsourcing services, I urge our service providers to remain relevant and truly responsive to the development needs of the city and the entire country. There have been reports that massive road construction projects have caused breaks in internet lines. I urge the concerned parties, contractors particularly, to make the necessary coordination to avoid these instances. We are now heavily relying on internet connectivity, and poor connection slows down businesses and processes. The Department of Information and Communications Technology, through its One Connect Wi-Fi hotspot program, has made internet free in 6 key areas in the city. May I invite everyone to try the free hotspot in City Hall, the Davao City National High School, the DICT office, People's Park, Magsaysay Park, and University of Southeastern Philippines main campus. On solid waste management and environment, with the signing of the exchange of notes between the national government and the government of Japan last March 2018, our city will be a recipient of a generous grant of 5 billion yen, or nearly 2.5 billion pesos, from the Japanese government to partially fund the construction of a waste-to-energy facility in the city. Currently, from the part of the city government of Davao, as part of our duties, we are finalizing the purchase of the proposed site in Biao Escuela and awaiting the agent agreement between Department of Finance and the Japanese government to formally start the implementation of the project. With this, we are now looking into improving our garbage collection processes. Dapat mag-practice magud ta og segregation before ang actual pag-operate sa WTE. Implement the following segregated garbage will be strictly implemented following a fixed schedule based on categorization and utilizing specific collection vehicles for the purpose. So, wait lang. The construction of a WTE is about 3 to 5 years. So, question is, mapuno na nga to ang landfill unsa may buhaton nato. We will find a temporary sanitary landfill while we are awaiting for the implementation of our WTE. So for the time being, we will look for another area as a temporary sanitary landfill once the current one that we have reaches its full capacity and while the WTE project is underway. On the matter of septage, I am strongly imploring to the Sanggunian to give us the authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the water district. We suggest that we focus on working with the water district in allowing them to build and operate a septage treatment facility, one that their charter allows them to conduct. Any delay puts at risk the future and the city's waters. With the conclusion of the IM for Davao, we have now identified at least 6 sites where our sewerage treatment systems may be put up. As we continue to improve, rehabilitate, and build new drainage systems, we shall complement this with the creation of these sewerage treatment facilities all over the city. We will continue to study on how to best build these sewerage treatment systems to ensure the city's compliance to wastewater regulations. As we try to cope with the climate change and the continuous rising of sea levels all over the world, this past year, together with the DPWH, we have commenced work on 14 key drainage improvement projects all over the city, with more than 900 million pesos in funding. Those are the key drainage improvement projects. Currently, the construction works for all the said projects are at 30% completion. Commissioning these projects is a step towards minimizing the flooding in the city, and we shall continue to build more and transform our city to be more climate change resilient. Let me take this opportunity to emphasize on our private sector partners currently engaged in land development in the city to see to it that Laverna will not happen again. All developers must comply with the standards required by law to ensure proper water runoff and drainage systems. Rest assured that the solution to Laverna flooding is already being worked on. All these efforts, even with the continuous daily and nightly cleaning of drainage lines, rivers, and coastal areas in the city, will not be enough if we continue to violate laws on proper development, and as we all indiscriminately dispose of our garbage all over the city. We can send 1 million people to clean our coastal areas, but this will be put to nothing if we continue to be lazy and disregard of how we should properly dispose of our garbage. I encourage everyone to partner with us in the campaign against single-use plastics, and we have endeavored to implement this in our departments. We invite everyone to use reusable alternatives to lessen the plastic wastes of the city. As an example, daw, ingon sila, itudlo daw ako ang tubig, which is not bottled water anymore. We invite everyone to use reusable alternatives to lessen the plastic wastes of the city. We hope that the Sangguniang could come up with a corollary legislation to give more teeth to this campaign. We've also been firm in our campaign in greening our city. Last December 2017, we opened the Davao City Botanical Garden located at Marfori Subdivision. So I invite everyone to visit our latest park, Davao City Botanical Garden. And we have created more spaces for children to safely play in the Davao Botanical Garden, the People's Park, and Osmeña Park. There will be 3 new playgrounds that are set to be constructed in Mintal, Toril, and Kalinan before the year ends. Playgrounds for children. And we have also another park coming up, donated by the Chonko family, yes. We have a We have submitted a design for budgeting from the Development Bank of the Philippines. Yes. DBP? DBM? DBM. Oh, basta ka na. Natay Park Mabot. We have conducted coastal cleanup and mangrove tree planting activities along the Davao River bank at Barangay 40D by virtue of Executive Order Number 2 Series of 2017. We have intensified the massive cleanup in the 32 coastal barangays of the city through the Bantay Dagat program. The program has engaged 300 volunteers to ensure that there is a regular cleanup. It is every Saturday morning. We have 300 volunteers every Saturday morning with the end in view of clean coastal waters for the Davaoenos. On agriculture, the Office of the City Agriculturist, in coordination with various stakeholders, is coming up with an agricultural development master plan. The plan shall direct the continued conservation, growth, and development of agriculture within the city's diverse land use and development context, and raise the public profile of agriculture in order to promote the importance of agriculture stewardship and the protection of heritage farmland. This plan is essential as agriculture remains the largest economic sector in the city. The plan will be completed this year. We are set to open the Davao Agri-Trading Complex in Daliao, Turil. The project was initiated by the Department of Agriculture and the city government to build a wholesale vegetable trading facility funded under the trust fund of 70 million pesos. The food terminal bridges the producers' need for maximum benefits and consumers' need for quality-based and affordable agricultural products. It will help facilitate fast and efficient movement of goods, particularly fresh farm products, in and out of the city and the whole region. And it is designed to improve marketing for basic consumers. We have implemented the Coastal-Based Resource Management Program, Marine Protected Areas Development Program that aims to maximize the development of 10 marine protected areas of 10 barangays identified as a response to the need of fisher folks for sustainable fish catch, allowing their food security, poverty alleviation, and environment management. Further, we have launched and campaigned for Davao City as the chocolate capital of the Philippines via the Chocolate Enterprise Development Project that was designed to further enhance the chocolate industry in Davao City. This is with a backing resolution from our Sanggunian. It is now providing additional opportunities for the small entrepreneurs, marginal farmers, upland farmers, and indigenous people of Davao City to be major players in the cacao and chocolate industry by producing globally competitive quality chocolates. We opened Cacao City for this project at the Pasalubong Center, and the facility easily becomes a go-to stop-by for tourists. Through the DA, the City Veterinarian's Office was able to receive a sizable amount to fund projects under the bottom-up budgeting program, such as the free-range restocking projects of about 240 pockets of native chicken were distributed to the districts of Kalinan, Talomo, Tugbok, Marilog, Buhangin, Poblacion, Turil, Bunawan, and Baguio. Delivery was completed on January 2018. The project will not only provide food for the farmers in the form of eggs or chicken meat, but also provide additional income as the surplus can also be sold for public consumption. The piglet restocking program, a total of 10 heads of female piglets were distributed to 5 districts, namely Tugbok, Paquibato, Marilog, Buhangin, and Poblacion. On investments and tourism, For investment and tourism, we have been very aggressive in promoting and encouraging more visitors and investors to consider Davao City as their top tourism and business destination. In 2017, our Davao City Investment Promotion Center and the City Tourism Operations Office have successfully organized the first investment and tourism mission in Japan. They visited 4 key cities, Osaka, Kyoto, Yokohama, and Tokyo, and met with relevant chambers of commerce and tourism associations. A similar activity was also recently conducted with a tourism and investment mission to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Singapore. We are happy to learn of the Malaysian and Singaporean markets' interest in exploring the potential and business opportunities of the city, especially in tourism, agribusiness, and solid waste management. We have also organized an investment and tourism forum last May 18, inviting foreign embassies located in the Philippines to showcase what we can offer in terms of business and leisure. These promotion activities were organized to improve our linkages with various organizations, highlighting that we are open and safe for tourists and investors to visit. Beyond these outbound missions, we have also actively participated in numerous local trade fairs and exhibits in promoting the preferred investments of the city, as well as in showing support to the various chambers of commerce and industry associations in Davao City that have also been aggressive in helping boost the city economy. Since 2016, we have given tax exemptions to 11 establishments who have chosen to invest in our preferred investment areas. We have partnered with Isla Lipana and company to look into the review of our incentives code, and we will submit the output to the Sangguniang for its consideration and for the enactment of a relevant legislation. The Pinoy Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprise Expo was conducted last July 16, 2018. It is one of the highlights of the city's annual celebration for micro, small, and medium-scaled enterprises that focuses on startup ventures, giving greenhorn entrepreneurs an experience of joining trade fairs. The expo was participated in by 29 exhibitors from Davao region. Majority were assisted through the Negosyo Center located at the Davao City Investment and Promotion Center. For tourism, Davao City recorded 967,360 tourist arrivals from July to December of 2016. A 7.85% higher than the previous semester of the same year at 896,983. From January to December of 2017, tourist arrivals totaled to 2,012,625. Compared to 1,864,343 of 2016. This reflects a 7.95 increase in tourism arrivals. In January to June of 2018, tourist arrivals totaled at 1,167,256 compared to 932,839,000, which is 25.13% higher than the previous semester of this year. We credit this to the events of Davao and the Ironman event. So next year, we expect this to considerably increase because for the first semester of next year, we have 3 major events: the Davao, the Ironman, and then the Palarong Pambansa. Davao City also played host to the Alveo Ironman 70.3 Davao last March 25, 2018. Our hosting of the event garnered us outstanding reviews from 1,800 triathletes around the world with a 90.2% rating, higher by 2.77% compared to the present global standards. Davao City will continue to be the home of Ironman 70.3 in the next 2 years, and our outlook is very upbeat, and this is for the international sporting event, which will stamp Davao City as a prime tourism destination. There will also be another event, triathlete event, a half Ironman by the second quarter of next year, which will precede our celebration for Kadayawan. So it will be a very busy 2019 for all of us. Apart from these activities, we are also improving our infrastructure and facilities to support our growing tourism industry. We are coming up with a city tourism master plan, and with the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, we'll be sponsoring 10 million pesos of this. This project is already in the implementation phase. While we want to improve our tourism offerings to our visitors, we still put prime in the legitimacy of business operations in the city. This is the main reason why closures were done in Marilog to all businesses that have been operating without necessary permits and licenses. Those within the tourism development zone can pursue legitimacy through government registration, provided they fit the criteria of a tourism enterprise and be able to comply with all the regulatory and environment regulation requirements. Those that desecrated the nearby conservation area in Marilog by clearing a no-build zone are advised to relocate within the tourism development zone, pursue legitimacy through regulatory compliance, and we will be obliged to restore the altered area in the conservation area. And other businesses in the Marilog area are on the disaster risk areas as well. So we are strictly enforcing the laws on our businesses in the land use in Marilog. Dili na lang man pud mi gusto na ay mahitabo dito, and then everybody says that we did nothing about the situation in Marilog as well as Shrine Hills also. Davao City renewed its sister city agreements with Quezon City and San Juan and inked a sister city relationship with Marikina last June 2018. These agreements forged cooperation and open communicative atmosphere to induce heightened exchange of ideas in the fields of environmental protection, trade and commerce, education, sports, community development, and culture and the arts, among others. The Davao City government and the city government of Kitakyushu, Fukuoka Prefecture of Japan, signed the Green Sister City Cooperation last November 28, 2017. This will promote and expand effective and mutually beneficial cooperation in the development of the two cities in the on environmental concerns, such as sustaining a low-carbon footprint society and resource recycling. With this, there is an ongoing inventory of greenhouse gas emissions within the city to update the mitigation and adaptation strategies for the local climate change action plan. Davao City and the County of Kauai, Hawaii of the United States of America have established a sister city relationship to promote mutually beneficial cooperation and deeper understanding on the fields of tourism and culture, agriculture, and trade and commerce. On transportation planning and traffic management, the comprehensive transport and management plan is still ongoing with the aim of implementing the most viable mass public transport system and public transport routes for the city. Benchmarking activity was conducted in Australia last May 20 to 30, 2018 by the city officials on effective transportation and traffic management system. With that, however, the City Traffic and Transport Management Office has been relentless in implementing traffic rules and regulations. From July to June of 2018, the CTTMO has issued citation tickets to 26,982 traffic violators who have been apprehended for violating the relevant traffic laws. The number of traffic violators has increased in the first semester of 2018 compared to the data of 2017 and 2016. A total amount of 6.8 million pesos was collected from jaywalking and traffic violators. There were 20,740 jaywalking violators in the first semester of 2018. The number of jaywalking violators has increased since the full implementation of the anti-jaywalking ordinance from 19,587 violators from the period of September to December 2017. The violators are then given lectures with topics regarding traffic and pedestrian safety awareness. The CTTMO emphasizes the use of pedestrian lanes in order to lessen pedestrian traffic accidents and to ease traffic flow. To strengthen the campaign against illegal parking and other traffic violations, the CTTMO have acquired 2 new tow trucks. To date, the CTTMO has towed a total of 796 vehicles that have illegally parked on the sidewalks and continues to remove and confiscate unauthorized signages. We have also hired an addition of 250 traffic personnel to boost enforcement and implement the enforcement of the 20-second parking rule within the yellow box. The yellow box is intended for the loading and unloading of passengers in designated areas. A penalty of 500 pesos will be fined to drivers violating this traffic rule. We are now finalizing the implementation plan for the high-priority bus system project. The recently concluded Libreng Sakay sa Kadayawan last August has confirmed and reinforced the conclusion highlighting the need and clamor for a modern, safe, and convenient mode of public mass transportation in the city. The HPBS will not only put new and modern city buses on the road, it would also pave the way for future road infrastructure developments that will not only focus on merely building roads. There will be a more deliberate focus on introducing improvements such as integrated public transport terminals, designated loading and unloading areas, proper road markings and signs, and additional traffic signals all over the city, and appropriate data generation and system analysis capabilities, all to provide a better travel and road experience for everyone. Unsa daw tong flashing daw na traffic lights, on and off, on and off. Karon naka-off na gyud kay pa-off na lang gyud nako ang traffic lights. Because mao daw ni ako ang basahon ingon sila. Plans to improve the traffic signalization is being discussed. Kana daw ilang gingon. Tinuod gyud na nay problema ang service provider and ang contract and ang city. So, on disaster risk reduction, under the Local Disaster Risk Reduction Management Fund investment plan, We will construct a disaster evacuation center in the 2nd District to complement the one being built in Los Amigos that is now in its 60% completion. We are also constructing a warehouse in compliance of the requirement of a safe storage facility that will preposition all goods in identified distribution areas. In order to monitor water levels during heavy rains, the city will install 7 early warning system EWS devices and 4 closed-circuit television in strategic areas. This will alert communities living in the downstream to immediately conduct preemptive evacuation once the need arises. All of these devices will be linked to the Davao City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office. All these efforts of our City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office will not prosper if people will not listen to calls for preemptive evacuation. Last December, we had floods caused by the Typhoon Vinta, and a day before the water levels in our Davao City rivers were kanang delikado, our City Disaster Risk Reduction Office personnel already conducted calls for people to do preemptive evacuation. But, as usual, makita ninyo sa mga Filipinos refuse to heed the calls for preemptive evacuation. So we had to rescue a lot of people from the rooftop of their houses. We'd like to thank the support of the private rescue teams, the units coming from the AFP and the PNP and the Bureau of Fire Protection for assisting us last December. I'd like to remind everyone that the Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office personnel know what they are doing. So if there is a call for a preemptive evacuation, it is best to, may nalanggani, walay namatay last December. It is best to heed the calls of to evacuate for the safety and security of everyone. Further, the Davao City CDRRMO will procure 5 mass transport vehicles in coordination with the CSSDO. These vehicles will be used during mass evacuations, during calamities and emergencies. We also launched our mobile kitchen named Kusina ng Bayan that is now servicing disaster-hit communities with hot meals. We conducted our first citywide earthquake and tsunami shakeout drill last July 14, 2017. The goal of this exercise was to evaluate the preparedness level of the people and the Davao City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office in the event of a strong earthquake. Furthermore, this aims to develop the coordination and cooperation of the different response agencies, both public and private, in the city during early warning, evacuation, and sheltering phases. This drill has engaged almost 350,000 individuals from different sectors, and due to the positive feedback, the second shakeout drill was conducted last July 27, 2018. Almost 600,000 individuals from public and private sectors have participated. The efficacy of the drills were actually tested last September 8, 2018, when Davao City experienced a 6.4 magnitude earthquake. We are only very happy that there were no reported injuries or deaths during that earthquake. Last December 2017, 2 unfortunate disasters happened. The NCCC fire and the flood that left families and industries with thousands and millions in pesos in damages. We cannot overemphasize the need to be ready against fire, and I really encourage everyone to participate in fire drills with no exceptions. For the flooding, we issued warnings to residents of low-lying areas. Sadly, not everyone heeded our advice, and we have resorted to very tedious search and rescue operations. As I said, luckily, no one died. However, let this be a lesson. Always, the best resiliency tool is common sense. If you are told to vacate, please vacate. I call on the DRRMO to further enhance the forced evacuation mechanism to see to it that we are not just advisories. Those advisories need to be followed. After the flooding, Davao City received overwhelming assistance from various donors that really helped the victims. And I thank all these kind-hearted individuals who donated goods and offered their time and services. Yes, thank you very much. And from the other departments of government as well as the national government agencies who assisted us. Alam kibalo mo sa tinuod lang, my feelings as mayor. Sorry ha, this is not the state of the city. This is the state of my feelings. I always feel that alone with the department heads, with my department heads, when we try to plan for the city, when we implement projects for the city, when we do something about the issues and challenges of the city. I always feel alone with them behind me. But I'm a truly lucky, a very lucky mayor, because when I am in trouble, usually during disasters, everybody rallies behind the city government. And I'm truly grateful to everyone, all the Davaoeños, for that kind of spirit. Sa tinuod lang, mapasalamaton kaayo ko sa inyong hagtanan because pag naanagani problema, I feel na naana ang kanang spirit of the Davaoeños of Bayanihan. Noong, kwento ko lang ito, kay Gikapoy na magyugog basa, oy, page 51, mamani, oy, hantod. Pwede ka nang i-print na lang niya, tagaan na mo copy isa-isa. Kantong last. Mubalik sa ako sa 2011. So, 2011 to 2018 na nga to ang istorya niyo. During my first term as mayor, it was really very traumatic for me because of what happened in Agdao. And that incident with the sheriff and that flood that killed 30 of our Davaoeños. Admittedly, mga kaigsuunan ng Davaoeño, admittedly, in 2017, there was no call for preemptive evacuation. And I felt bad and I felt na medyo, that was partly government's fault under my administration na walay call for preemptive evacuation in that area. And 30 of our mga kaigsuunan died. And last December, when that fire in NCCC happened, it was another kanang heartbreaking moment for me because another 30 na mga young people of Davao City died in that fire. And kanang, as I said, I'm really very thankful lang na every time, and that September 2 bombing incident also, I'm really very thankful lang na every time something happens, like kanang mga ingana, everybody is there. Pero pagkahuman pod, pag okay na, mga wala na pod mo tanan. O kanya-kanya na pod mo sa inyohang kinabuhi. But I'm okay. I have our department heads. Please take time out to give a round of applause for our department heads. Rest assured that they are doing their jobs and they are, sa tinuod lang, nag-away-away na gud na sila sa Viber group. Mag-chismis ko dire. Kinsa ang nag-away? Nag-away sila. Tungod lang sa Adi man away ka nang lalis. Naglalis sila dito naman may Viber group chat because as I said kaganina in my speech, we are very nag-rely na ta sa internet and we are in Viber. It's faster to talk to each other sa Viber. Mas faster po ang action if we do it there as compared to waiting for a meeting or calling. Mas paspas dito, gina-post na lang naman. So nag-away sila because of di na to mapakita ang picture, because of a railing. A railing na gihulam sa City TMO o niya gibiyaan sa Davao City Police Office niya. Wala giuli sa City TMO ang railing which a picture of that railing found its way in social media because it was left dito sa pedestrian lane. Dili magamit ang pedestrian lane because naharangan sa railing. So nag-away-away na sila dito. Ay, naglalis na sila. Oh, it's our fault. It's again our fault, sabi ng City TMO. Sabi naman ng DCPO, I'm sorry, but it's our fault. It's our fault. Unsa ganito kung gi-comment, ganito, gi-PM ko naman to kung comment na. Nga nagkukakinsa gede ng railing na ihatag na lang na sa penong ay manginasal ba tong na dito no ikaw ihatag na lang na sa manginasal ng railing din ha. Yes, so that is how passionate they are with their tasks and duties, and I'd like to thank them. Kung doon na may mga accomplishments ang administration, all of this is not my trabaho. My trabaho is only to tell them what to do and to seek out kung nabuhat na ba ang mga kinahanglan buhaton. So once again, another round of applause for our department heads. So kinsay in charge nga mag-xerox ani ug mag-distribute. Yes, after the flooding, Davao City received overwhelming assistance from various donors that really helped. Sa tinuod lang. Individuals, organizations helped us. And I thank all these kind-hearted individuals who donated goods and offered their time and services. I am truly a lucky mayor because when I get into trouble, I see everybody behind me. And because it is our moral obligation to assist our needy brothers and sisters, even those living outside the city, we have continuously sent assistance to victims of other disasters. And this year, we sent assistance to the victims of Typhoon Josie and Carding in the amount of 8 million pesos, 20.5 million pesos to the victims of Typhoon Ompong, and very recently, 2 million pesos worth of goods to the victims of the Naga landslide. So, we have, how much? 66 million remaining from our disaster funds. So, I said, unfortunately, if there will be simbako, other disasters, di na ta maghatag, because we only have 66 million from now, October 1 until December 31 for our own needs. On peace and order, the peace and order condition of a community rests on how well its public safety, civil order, and general security are managed. And we thank and commend the guardians of our safety and security for continuing vigilance and sustained effectiveness in preventing and controlling the persistent threats of criminality, terrorism, insurgency, and drugs in our city. They are the men and women who always lose sleep that soundly we can. The Central 911 facility has begun its major renovation to have a much bigger space to accommodate the response vehicles and equipment. This will make the Central 911 deliver more efficient and effective services to the people of Davao. With the implementation of the strategically advanced resource assignment, Central 911 has purchased additional 7 units of ambulance and 2 units of light rescue vehicle. These units will be positioned to places to provide quick emergency response whenever the need arises. As to crime index, the Davao City Police Office have reported that in the semester of 2018, the total crime volume is 2,671 cases, consisting of 2,079 non-index and 592 index crimes. These numbers are lower compared to the data from the first semester of 2017 by 37.6%. This decrease is brought about by the conduct of Oplan's Bulabog, the counter-terrorism manhunt operations, the Oplan Lambat Bitag Sasakyan, road clearing operations, and other anti-criminality operations of the Davao City Police Office. In order to augment the number of Davao City Police Office personnel, the number of police auxiliary personnel has been increased by 44% in this year, or from a complement of 910 in 2017 to 1,310 in 2018. This strategy has resulted to a remarkable decrease of street crimes in Davao City. The DCPO launched Oplan Sagop Kabataan last December 2017 and prescribes the integration of all the guidelines and procedures on the rescue of minors for a unified law enforcement addressing the issues of children in conflict with the law, child at risk, and out-of-school children and youth that are being children. Youth is really wasted on the young. Totoo yung kasabihan na yan. From January to June 2018, there were 604 operations. The DCPO rescued 1,717 youth and children. From May 2017 to July 2018, there were 530 Oplan Kalinaw operations conducted to do background checks on suspicious individuals that resulted in the arrest of 539 suspects during manhunt operations against persons or fugitives hiding in the communities. The incidences of theft in the neighborhoods have been rampant this year. Akyat bahay. This was the reason that the Davao City Police Office conceptualized the Oplan Robbery, Akyat Bahay, Theft, and Snatching, or Oplan RATS, last June 2018, and with positive results. With all of DCPO's program, I congratulate the men and women of our police force, headed by City Director Alexander Tagum, for winning the best city police office in the country for the year 2018. We beefed up security in all our entry points. Strict protocols for passenger and private vehicles passing through checkpoints have been in effect. While these safety and security precautions certainly cause some personal inconveniences, we have received generally positive feedback on how the checks are being done. I encourage everyone to propagate a mindset of safety and to be always cooperative. Let us bear that this little inconvenience, if only to ensure that we reach our destinations safe and sound. We have added 3 additional companies of the Special CAFGU Active Auxiliaries, and they have greatly added to the effectiveness of the Task Force Davao. The Task Force Davao checkpoint has also helped tremendously in the war against drugs of the national government and the Philippine National Police. Very frequently, dinha sa ato ang mga checkpoints, dunay madakpan na mga individuals carrying usually shabu and some marijuana. Ginadala nila, ginatransport nila dire sa ato sa Davao City. So we'd like to thank the Task Force Davao personnel in the checkpoints. Lisod kayo na ilang trabaho. Very difficult to accommodate individuals na dili gusto mo pila and to be under the heat of the sun and rain and all the other things that they need to think of to keep our city safe. The midtown and uptown areas of the city have also been kept in relative peace through the efforts of the 103rd Brigade of the Philippine Army. The brigade has recorded many successes in their focused combat military operation against the armed insurgents. Hand in hand with this is the implementation of the Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program, or ECLIP, by the national government that is now proving to be effective in persuading the insurgents to return to the fold of the law. All our schools now, of the law, okay, school guards. All our schools now have at least one school guard with 831 strong civil security unit members dispersed citywide. So that was my order to the PSSCC, our PSSCC, to give each public school at least one school guard. On the war on drugs, the City Anti-Drug Abuse Council initiated the enhancement of the Department of Education curricula in coordination with PIDEA, DOH, and DepEd. With this, DepEd released a memorandum directing all schools, both public and private, to use the CADAC drug education modules for the school year 2018 to 2019 and develops a monitoring tool on the implementation of this preventive education program. Tatara na, tabangan nato, reformists, aron naay asenso, is a community-based rehabilitation aftercare program. The CBRAP manual has been finalized and distributed to different offices and stakeholders, and distribution of this is now underway. From January to June 2018, there are 4,377 reformists enrolled in Tarana CBRAP. This is an increase of 377% from 917 reformists in 2017. In 2018, a total estimated dangerous drugs board value of 16 million pesos worth of illegal drugs have been confiscated. This is higher by 16.23% compared to the whole year of 2017, with confiscation estimated at 14 million pesos. During the first semester of 2018, there are 279 anti-illegal drugs operations conducted that resulted to the arrest of 450 suspects. From July of 2016 until the present, a total of 2,002 persons have been arrested for violating the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. A rise of 39% have been noted from the admissions in our own rehabilitation center, from 162 in 2017 to 225 in the first semester of 2018. The increase is attributable to the various efforts, including the compulsory rehabilitation program of the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. We have established the Davao City Council for Peace, initially as an arm that would have talked peace with our insurgent brothers and sisters in the local level. With the declaration of insurgent groups as terror groups, we have shifted our strategy to talk about peace and development in the areas with heavy concentration of supporters. On May 10, 2018, Peace 911 was launched as a comprehensive peace-building project for the Paquibato district. The program aims to empower the covered communities through strategic and integrated agricultural plan, community-based health and wellness programs, and local capacities for peace, including intercultural harmony. The programs of Peace 911 are appropriately channeled to its localized version to cover all the population of the district. This has been established as Barangay Peace 911, composed of community leaders in the Paquibato district. With this, projects for skills development, livelihood, urban gardening have been conducted. Also, there are series of caravans organized where different government agencies convene to give their services. A shared protocol system was created to monitor movement in and out of people, goods, and services in Paquibato. And this will ensure that all activities and resources will be evenly distributed among all barangays in the district. There are 27 former rebels for skills training in automotive in cooperation with the 16th IB, DSWD, and TESDA. Also, 65 former rebels were extended with initial assistance and facilitated to be included in the interagency programs for rebel returnees. There are 16 insurgency-affected barangays with the presence of the National People's Army that have now been recommended to be declared as cleared, peaceful, and conflict-resilient communities to the Area Clearing Validation Board. 3 of these barangays are in Paquibato District, namely Pandaitan, Fatima, and Sumimao. This is attributed to the shared peace efforts of all the stakeholders. I'd like to thank our barangay captains for their support to the effort of the city government and the units of the Armed Forces of the Philippines operating in our conflict area barangays, particularly Paquibato, Mariloga, Kalinan, and some parts of Tugbok. With PSSCC's leadership, the thrust of enhancing the interoperability of all the members of the security cluster is being implemented with positive results. However, I could not stress hard enough that peace and security is everyone's responsibility. The bigger, more sophisticated tasks lie with our security forces, but it is with you, with every Davaoenyo who deeply know your communities. Thus, I encourage you to continue to cooperate, report suspicious persons and activities, and always be vigilant. I always say, pag maadto ko dito sa mga barangays, na we do not expect people to help government if they do not want to. But ang ako alang manghangyo as city mayor is that ayaw lang po tabangi ang kalaban sa gobyerno, be it NPA, mga terorista, mga drug smuggler, mga drug pusher, so that mupantay ang laban. It will be easier for us in the government to do our job if the people do not support the enemies of government. In sum, are you ready? Kay happy, sunulong mo dyan ko page. Ay, padugayon na ako. In sum, there is much to be done. And while we can certainly feel the gains from the last 2 years in almost all fronts, our successes can only be honestly measured against the state of the least of our brothers and sisters. No matter how much growth rate ang atong istoryahan diri and the accomplishments of the city government, if our poor brothers and sisters remain poor and in need of help, that will be the measure of our success. If we can lift our poor families out of poverty. Until there is a person unemployed, starving, or cannot afford medical care, until there is a child who cannot access proper education, until there is an insurgency that limits progress, then there will always be reasons to continue with the journey and move forward. To my fellow workers in government, I started this speech reminding myself of my marching orders: gainful employment for every Davaoeño, decent housing, educated and healthy children, able to eat 3 meals a day, and be safe and secure in our daily activities. It is my hope that all of us share the same, and we take ownership in seeing to it that one day all of these goals will see reality in our beloved Davao City. Daghan salamat. Huwag sa makausap pa, maayong udto kaninyong tanan.
In behalf of the 18th Council and the people of Davao, maraming salamat, Mayor, for your hard work and commitment and leadership to the city. And I would also like to thank you for inspiring the Davaoeños to be a better citizen. Palakpakan natin ating Mayor. Also to the department heads, to the barangay officials, to the men and women of the city government of Davao, maraming salamat po. Palakpakan natin. Before I will suspend the session, I would like to request the members of the council to be back by 1 p.m. to continue our session. And I would like to remind our guests to please remain at your seats. And we will be calling your groups and names for the photo opportunity with the mayor. So this session is now suspended until 1 p.m. You may take your seats. Thank you.
Mayong bunta, mayong udto sa tanan.